Hello and welcome to Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Khalid Hijris, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around Bahrain. So don't go away, we'll be right back. A scientific research poster titled Phenotypic and Genotypic Colistin Resistance in Acinetobacter baumannii Genomic Insights, Occurrence, and Diagnostic Methods Performance was presented by the two medical students from the College of Medicine and Medical Sciences at the Arabian Gulf University AGU at the Federation of European Microbiological Societies FEMS Conference that was recently held in Milan, Italy. And to talk more about that, we are pleased to be joined here at the studio by AGU students Ms. Zainab Hussein and Ms. Zainab Salman. Welcome, how are you both doing today?
Good.
Hi.
How are
Good,
you?
Thank you.
Now, this is an incredible achievement, so we'd like to start by asking you, what did it feel like to represent AGU at the international conference in Italy?
So we feel so honored and grateful to have the opportunity to represent Arabian Gulf University in such a scientific platform. And we're very thankful to AGU for sending us and supporting us. And it was such a proud moment to have to stand as a student and represent our research in front of international researchers.
Wonderfully said. And how were you selected to participate in the conference, and what was the journey like leading up to it?
Our supervisors, Dr. Mohammed Shadab and Dr. Mohammed Shahid, encouraged us to apply to conference, and we submitted our abstract, which was accepted by FEMS scientific community. And then the journey involved months of lab work, analysis, and writing, and finally preparing our poster. It was very demanding, but the support from our supervisor made it much easier.
And can you tell us a little bit about, was this the first time that either of you had attended a conference like this?
Yes, it was the first time for us both attending a conference. It was such a nice experience for us both.
Wonderful. And can you briefly explain the focus of your research and why it's important in today's medical landscape?
It is important because this is the first research in Bahrain to investigate colistin resistance in Acinetobacter baumannii. Colistin is the last resort antibiotic used to treat multi-drug resistant bacteria. And Acinetobacter is a dangerous bacteria that causes hospital-acquired infection.
And what drew you to the study of antimicrobial resistance as your subject?
Antimicrobial resistance nowadays is one of the emerging threats, as WHO, or the World Health Organization, puts it as one of the top 10 global threats worldwide. And it also estimates that by the year 2050, about 10 million deaths will be caused by antimicrobial resistance. So it was important for us to investigate it and study it and provide local data from Bahrain about this issue.
Wonderful. And yes, it's become such a important topic, antimicrobial resistance. Now, I think there was a certain point in time where antibiotics were used a bit too liberally,
Yes.
and that's caused a bit of an issue. And now, what did this study, you've mentioned colistin is often the last resort of antibiotics. So what did the study reveal about the bacteria's resistance to it?
We found that the resistant rate in our isolate was higher than the global report. So this highlights the need for infection control measure and continuous surveillance. Also, colistin is used in livestock, but I am proud to say that Bahrain has banned the use of colistin in livestock since 2018. So this reflects how Bahrain is committed to combat antimicrobial resistance.
Wonderful. And can you tell us what would be the consequence of us consuming livestock that have been exposed to colistin?
It will increase the rate of resistance.
Okay, so it's transferable from the livestock to human.
Yeah.
Actually, colistin is used as both a prophylactic thing for livestock, meaning to prevent the disease of the livestock, and both as a growth promoting agent. And when it is used excessively in livestock, it can increase the expression of the genes that can lead to colistin resistance. So it will increase the colistin resistance in our environment that can be transferred to humans. So this was an important step, banning colistin use in livestock.
Absolutely. What methodologies or technologies did you use during this study?
So in our study, we used two approaches. First, the phenotypic approach, in which using specific laboratory tests, we studied how our bacteria, Acinetobacter baumannii, is susceptible or sensitive to the drug colistin. And next, we used some molecular techniques like polymerase chain reaction or PCR in order to investigate for the presence of certain genes that cause this resistance. And when we found that our results in PCR were negative, we sent some samples for whole genome sequencing, which allow us to read the whole DNA of the bacteria and investigate further about the genomic characteristics of this bacteria and the reason of the resistance.
It sounds very high tech. I mean, that must have you must have felt like you were in a movie researching with those methods. And talking about the findings, how will this influence the treatment of antimicrobial treatment in the future?
Our research emphasized that the most reliable method is a broth microdilution. And if we have better diagnostics, this means better treatment and safer use of antibiotic and reduced misuse of colistin.
And we've spoken a bit about the context of hospital-acquired infections. Why is antibiotic resistance such a critical issue?
Hospital-acquired infections are particularly dangerous because they already affect patients who are vulnerable or immunocompromised. So this increased the mortality rate and the morbidity. And when antimicrobial resistance is there, it leaves the clinicians with less treatment options to treat these patients.
And the core and the major issue is that the bacteria is evolving faster than we are developing a new antibiotic.
Yes, that's something I've unfortunately heard. It is incredible to see how, and a bit terrifying to see how something so small can lead to such devastating outcomes, but it's very heartening to see that there are professionals like yourselves who are on top of it and are ready to study it with all of the current technology. And what was it like, going back to the conference a bit, what was it like presenting all of your work to an international audience of experts at FEMS?
It was exciting and at the same time humble. We were surrounded by experts and we felt still welcomed and encouraged. It reminds us that science is a shared global effort.
Absolutely. I think science, I don't think anyone will disagree with the fact that science is a collaborative effort, and it's always building on a pre-existing foundation, and it's great to see that you guys are adding to that foundation as well. Was there any feedback or specific questions that helped you reframe your findings or to understand your findings even better?
We discussed a lot with researchers around the world, and we shared a lot of experiences, and we gained a lot of idea from their hypotheses and their approach of research. So it was really informative and useful for us.
Absolutely. And what are your plans for the future, moving forward with this research? Do you plan to build on it? Do you plan to expand it?
We plan to expand our genetic analysis and to sequence more isolate in order to study the virulence factor and the resistance gene. So this will allow us to predict how bacteria evolve and how the resistance is spread, and this will help us in prevention and treatment.
I mean, I'm very curious because while we're discussing this, I'm just trying to put a mental image. Could you guys describe what it's like when you isolate these genes or compare them? Like, what does it look like in the lab?
It is just a sequence of letters, genes.
CAGT, I believe,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
So you look for differences between the different sequences, between each, whatever cells you're comparing?
Yes, there are software that look for the differences.
Wonderful. It's great to see how high tech how high tech it all is. And how do you value the constant support given to you by AGU's academic and administrative authorities in developing skills such as yourselves?
We're very thankful for the support from our faculty and our supervisors at the Department of Microbiology at Arabian Gulf University. And at the same time, we're thankful and grateful for the administrative part of AGU that allowed us to go out of Bahrain and represent Arabian Gulf University as such a scientific platform.
You know, the way that you guys are discussing this is clear that you guys are very passionate about it, and you clearly know what you're talking about. You've put in probably hours of research and dedication into this. And I'm sure when you describe this, or when other medical professionals or students here in the Kingdom of Bahrain look at that, they're going to feel a bit inspired. So to any potential medical professionals or students who are looking to participate in an international conference like FEMS, what advice would you give them based off of your experiences?
I would say start early, stay curious, and don't be afraid of the challenges. And research is not only about finding an answer, but it is about asking the correct questions.
Wonderful. I think that's very succinct. Anything to add to that?
And from my point of view, it's really good to involve themselves in extracurricular activities outside their studies. This will help them really find their interests, and when they find their interest, it will be easier for them in the future to go on with this interest and develop it more. And this will also allow them to have the opportunity like us to participate in such global opportunities like FEMS.
Wonderfully said. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and inshallah going forward, maybe you'll be participating, who knows, in even more future international conferences. Thank you so much, and I wish you both the best with all of your work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We have more coming up here on Bahrain Now. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what's going on beyond the studio in the following report.
Time Out Market Bahrain continues to host a series of summer fun activities during the month of August for kids to enjoy indoors.
I enjoy this activity because it's so nice.
The do-it-yourself lava lamp event saw the attendance of kids who enjoyed picking their favorite color to make their own lava lamp and had a blast.
So I liked it about this activity of putting some oil and some food coloring, and also I liked playing with it.
The events will continue all throughout the month of August, including pottery and canvas painting, clay and slime making, and DJ and live entertainment. So stay tuned and make sure to pay a visit to explore the summer schedule and have fun with your family.
The third Asian Youth Games will be held in Bahrain from October 22nd to 31, 2025. It will be hosted under the patronage of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. Exhibition World Bahrain will host the opening ceremony and a number of events. Other venues include Isa Sports City, Khalifa Sports City, Endurance Village, and Sama Bay. Over 4,000 athletes from 45 national Olympic committees in Asia are expected to participate. Athletes will compete across 24 sports with 31 subcategories and 253 events planned.
Well, we're very pleased today to have the press conference of the third Asian Games taking place in October this year. We are expecting over 5,000 athletes from across Asia, and almost 45 NOCs participating in this event. The preparations have been ongoing. The committee has done an excellent job in terms of ensuring the facilities that is needed to have this event, and we're very honored to welcome all of Asia to Bahrain in October.
Today we had a successful coordination committee meeting with the Olympic Council of Asia. They were quite impressed with the progress we did in a very short period of time, from the accommodation plan, the transportation plan, and the technical side. This is definitely going to be the biggest games in the history of Bahrain, and we're looking forward to hosting more than 5,000 athletes and 10,000 dignitaries.
First of all, I would like to thank the Bahrain Olympic Committee for this press conference. I would like to welcome all the 45 countries in Asia and Bahrain in the coming October. Big numbers, more than 6,000. They already registered for the 3rd Asian Youth Games. We wish all the teams the best here in Bahrain. More than 25 sports, 45 countries. All of them will be here in Bahrain. We are looking forward to this event, one of the biggest events that's been hosted in Bahrain here, and we wish all the best to all the teams.
This marks the first time Bahrain hosts the Asian Youth Games. The Games are qualifying events for the 2026 Youth Olympic Games in Dakar. The Executive Committee is working diligently to finalize preparations, including reviewing IT, infrastructure, and logistics. A head of mission guide has been approved and the coordination system in place. Bahrain aims to use this event to showcase its hospitality, commitment to youth development, and position as a leading hub for international sporting events.
This brings us to the end of today's episode. We'd like to thank you for watching, and remember, you can always reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. We love to hear from you. This was Khalid Hidris. Until next time, good night and God bless.